to build the confidence, it's taking the idea that you have in your head and then just feeling the fear and doing it. Like what's on your list that you're so afraid of doing, and then go off and do it and reward yourself for it, regardless of the result. So it was scary for you to reach out and say, hey, Evan, do you want to come on my show? It ended up being a positive result, but it could have been negative. Like I could have been a total, a really mean person, right? I could have said, no, Gord, like I hate your show. I never want to come on or see you ever in life. Like that could have been, right? Yeah. But it's still, I would still congratulate myself to say, I did it. I reached out, It doesn't matter what the result was. I did the thing that I was scared to do. Where I think people tie their worth to the results. And so because you're so afraid of the results, then you don't take the action. But it's about in the doing, in the action, where you learn and you get better and you build your confidence. Well, I think people have patience and impatience flipped. I think you have to flip it. I think most people get it wrong. I think you have to be patient with the results, but impatient with yourself.
Right.
You have to be impatient. Like today has to matter. Like what Gord did today has to matter, and be massively impatient with yourself. That this project has to be out today. I have to get as much done as possible when I put my head on my pillow and go to sleep in my home. It's like, I'm proud of the effort I put in, but then patient with the results, that the results will come. What I'd encourage you to do is make sure your actions have to map to your ambitions. I want to get, this is where I want to be. This is the life that I want, Then look at your calendar.
Right.
Is what's in your calendar how you spend your day, Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and an entire life perspective, is not just work, but life. Like, here's my ambition for life. Here's how I want to spend the next X years of my life. Are you doing that? Like in your calendar, the habits that you have, what you're doing, especially work, if you're looking Monday to Friday, if you looked at your next week ahead of you and you did the things that are in your calendar, would you move closer to accomplishing your goals or not? If zero time is being spent on making your courses, then the answer is probably no.
Right.
Like, what you're doing right now, where that leads you. And so that's not going to help you map to your ambition. You've done the easiest part of the journey. Now is when we actually need your resilience to come through.
Yeah.
This is the part that will actually make you an inspiration for people to follow. Because everything you've done is within your comfort zone, or just like a little bit of a step outside. But like this now is a time to be resilient.
Totally.
So if you want to get your course, like you could have your course up and launched by the end of the year and start making money from it.
Yeah.
So so what I would ask myself is like, what would the most resilient version of Gord be doing right now? The two things that I would have constantly on repeat in my head is, one, I would ask myself, anytime you face resistance, what would the most resilient version of Gord be doing right now? How would the most resilient version of Gord handle this problem right now?
Yeah.
I don't have my course out. Great. What would the most resilient version of Gord do? Yeah. I'm afraid to reach out to my friends and ask them to promote me. Great. What would the most resilient version of Gord do? As a constant soundtrack, like print it off and put it on your next to your computer, or make it your background.
That's a great way of looking at it, because it's so concise and accurate.
In order to be resilient, there has to be resistance.
Yeah.
The story means nothing if there's no resistance.
Yeah.
There's no resiliency if it's easy.
Yeah. And it's actually looking at resistance in multiple ways, right? The resistance of what's causing me not to take action, and then being resistant to not fall back into the habits that were keeping me from progressing.
Right. Yeah. So every resistance in front of you right now is your opportunity to be resilient. I think the best thing for you is to figure out what it is that makes Gord feel resilient on a day-to-day basis, and incorporate that into your morning routine.
Okay.
Whether that's, for me, it's my videos. Like my videos I make selfishly for myself, and then I share it with the world, and I'm so thankful that people like them too, because it allows me to build a team and build a company. But I would still be doing them for myself because I need it, because I want to be around Elon Musk and Steve Jobs and these people every day.
Right.
So what is it that makes Gord feel resilient every day, and do that thing every morning? Whether that is watching a video or reading a book or meditating outside, or whatever the thing is that makes you feel resilient. It's like going to the gym. The biggest thing that you need to ultimately do is flex your mindset. You got to change the mindset. You got to shift and grow stronger in the mindset. And that's going to come from consistent exposure to people who believe the things that you want to believe.
Right.
And so like we're having a moment here, and that's great. And that'll shift for a few moments, but then tomorrow it's going to be back to being the old Gord.
Yeah, I need to build the muscle of confidence is really what I think is a nice way of summarizing it all up, because I use, and the thing is, I think we have tendency, at least I do at times, to just use that lack of confidence label as an excuse for not taking action and staying in the comfort zone.
The shorter you can get from thinking to doing, you'll have ultimate success. You may start a Facebook group and hate it.
Yeah.
And leave after 3 months, or it may be the best thing ever and you're cheating yourself the opportunity of trying.
Yeah.
And so more important than does it work is, did I enjoy it?